Did you know that these only sell for like $2,000 to $2,500 US on the used market?
What? That's crazy. I gotta find me a pair. Welcome to Hi-Fi. I'm Marcos, this is Kurt, and today we're talking about the Mordaunt Short Performance 6. The Performance 6s are a 4-way speaker featuring a 25mm dome tweeter, a 4-inch mid-range, and a dual 6.5-inch woofer configuration. The Performance 6s also feature an 89 dB sensitivity, and power rating is around 50 to 250 watts.
In terms of price, they can really even make a speaker for like this for anything under $10,000 to $12,000. In the used market today, I've seen them as low as $1,500 US, around $2,200 Canadian, in really good pristine condition. I still find them in around that 25, 27 American price range, which is outstanding for what you get at that price.
I'm pretty amazed that you can actually buy a speaker like this for under $3,000 Canadian.
This actually used to always be one of my favorite speakers. I used to sell this mainly, I don't know what it is, 15 years ago, way back in the day. It was actually always my dream. I actually kind of want to buy these.
The Performance 6s, to me, I can't believe how good these still look to this day. For being around 15 years old, they still look pretty contemporary. Using injection molded, they were able to get these really cool cabinet shapes. I really love the looks of these.
As I was mentioning earlier, you couldn't even, it's not even feasible to make a speaker out of polymer these days. And you can even see the first glance when you look at it, just looks so, the finish just like a car. Also with its smooth lines on there, a lot of metallic flake, especially in this color, just makes it really, really stand out and feel like a high-end speaker. Even today, if you had some of the most modern contemporary houses, this would still fit in it. And the way it's sculpted, it actually looks like a piece of art. Again, this is just amazing what they did back in the day.
Overall, performance-wise, the Performance 6s definitely don't disappoint. For me, I really love the impactful bass that they have, and they also have this really nice, expansive soundstage to them. The bass response on the Performance 6s was really, really clean, I found, and still very impactful, very engaging.
It's been at least 8 years since I've sat down and really listened to this speaker. I always loved them, and listening to them today just still brings back memories how good they were. One thing to really note is that I really stand out is this aspirated tweeter that they use on here. It vents out a lot of information, just almost having like a bipole speaker right into the rear, and it creates this amazing sense of soundstage and air, especially when you're listening to the guitars or a lot of the stuff. It creates this really room-filling kind of presence on there, and a lot of that I know was to do with this tweeter design.
When we performed our classic dB test on the Performance 6s at around 60 decibels normal talking conversation, actually performed pretty well. What I did notice on the mid-range, when you were listening to percussion, it wasn't as pronounced as I'm used to, or as detailed as I'm used to.
It's just not as sharp, but it's still really, really good. Yeah.
Bass-wise and in the higher frequencies, it was still very present and pretty enjoyable.
when we really cranked it up at a louder level, so when listening to it about at 85 dBs, no problem. This thing will handle it easily all day long. It's got a lot of impact. It fills the room really well. And we decided to push it a little bit, reaching around 90, 91 dBs. And this, I know it could have gone more. We just didn't want to push it. And remember, this room is a lot bigger. We're looking at about a 350 square foot room. To be able to fill it up with that kind of dBs is pretty amazing.
When it came to listening to music on the Performance 6s, we listened to a big variety of songs, as we always do, and like Kurt said, he was kind of reminiscing hearing them again after so many years. The two songs that stood up the most, Tumani Diabate and Lean Road. What I love about this song, it's just got this beautiful, airy feeling to it. It's just Tumani himself playing a string instrument, I believe it's called the kota, and it just presents it so well with these speakers.
Yeah, especially I think what really makes it is the way the guitar, the strings, and how everything is just so airy. It really just it fills the room, and everything from the attack and the strike of the strings. You can almost even tell the fingernails are not cut, and you can sometimes hear him playing it with using it as effect with the strings. It's pretty amazing how this was able to portray that.
When he's strumming that guitar, it just like you can almost hear almost feel this sense of space between all the strings. It's really nice, super well detailed, especially on these speakers.
One more thing on this recording is I think it's a solo. What's neat about how they mix this, it definitely doesn't sound like it. It's actually pretty confused there. It's neat because they take the different part of the strings and they almost like kind of move it and pan it out on like more on, say, on the left side. And one thing is, because through this speaker, it just creates this crazy air and stage. It just sounds like a multiple band, or like two guitarists, but it's not.
It almost feels like you're sitting like a foot away from the guitar.
Yeah, pretty much. It's almost like it's almost like a piano being mic'd like right in front of you, and you just hear the whole range of the board.
The second song that stood out, a little bit of 90s alternative, Live, Lightning Crashes. What really stood out with this song to me is like a lot of these 90s alternative songs had a lot of dynamic compression. And I found sometimes they're a little bit harsh to listen to, but on the Performance 6s, they actually presented the song really nicely.
Really what I like about it is in this song, it's really just meant to engage you, and that's what I got, especially through these speakers. And I think it was because of the texture in his voice. That's what really kind of grabs you when you're listening to this song. That kind of draws you in, and because it creates this I don't know. Again, I'm going back to that air, but even in the voice and just the texturing really just makes you feel it a lot more. Because this song to me has, I don't know, one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best build up to the song.
Yeah, touching on that build up, I found, especially listening to it on these speakers, they really got you excited. The bass response is really nice on these, so I felt pretty amped up after the build up came up.
And really neat thing about this is there's this kind of that ghost kind of which again, this speaker, because it just creates stage. I don't know what they're really doing on there. It's almost like they got this sound, or they take the parts of, I don't know, the harmonics or the stuff from the guitar, and then they just kind of pan it. And really what it feels like this, it's almost like
ghostly effect.
This ghostly effect of like going kind of back and forth. And usually the higher the quality of your equipment and your room and a proper setup, you get more of that impression. I actually didn't hear that after about a year of listening to that song, and I put it into a really high-end system in my basement, listening in the dark once, and I was like, the heck was that? and this speaker easily captures that.
Sounds like they'll give you the creeps. We really recommend these Mordaunt Short Performance 6s for a medium to large size room. The amount of air they move, especially with the dual woofer configuration, suits that setting very well. As mentioned at the start of the video from Kurt, the still very modern aesthetic really suits a lot of today's modern homes as well.
And for me, I'm just glad to listen to this again and being beside it. It really, I don't know, it has one of those things that I don't think I'll ever forget it. You know, overall, when I consider what you can buy it for today at this price point that we discussed, you know, anywhere between $1,800 to $2,500 US is outstanding, because they as a manufacturer, with this kind of build and how they build it, you couldn't even do that today. Like I was saying, less than 10 or 12,000 US. I really don't think they could. The sound quality is still, you know, at that price range. What are you really gonna find? Overall, they just look stunning. And the good thing is, to let everybody know, is I've used this everything from Cambridge Audio. I've installed it once with Air Acoustics, Moon Audio. Everything just seems to work well. Name Gear, you know, the list goes on. And I think is because you're not that hard to drive, you'll be able to find a match. Just figure out in your amplifier what sonic signature you might like to help complement the speaker, and you'll end up having a really high-end sound at not a very high-end price.
Thanks for watching our video today on the Mordaunt Short Performance 6s. Do you like how they look? Let us know in the comments. If you like our videos, please share them with your friends, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Thanks for watching and have a good one.